Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? Welcome to the 12th edition of Power Rankings. Let's get to it. And good evening. Hello, baseball fans. How you doing? A lot of familiar faces in the chat. I say that every single time, but you guys are always coming out for the Power Rankings. I love to see all of the familiar faces. What's going on? Sean, Trey, Baseball Homer, what's going on? Brandon, Bobby, Jacob, Toon, one of our moderators, Lane, Luke, Ballin' with AC, Nick Craig, Jack Crick, Gregory, Orlando is here. Brandon Dillman, what's going on, my friend? Jared Cole, hello. Albert, what's going on? Nicholas, one of our moderators, is here. Hello. Kevin NGO, Tice Thompson, what's going on? How are we doing? For everyone else, hello. Thank you for coming in for the 12th edition of Power Rankings. Man, oh man, what a week in baseball. We got some all-star game rosters to discuss. We got a super chat coming in. JM1231. What's up, Robbie? How about those M's? How about those Mariners? How about those Orioles? My goodness. How about those Dodgers? We got some red hot teams. My goodness, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Thank you for the super chat. JM1231. Really do appreciate that. Man, we got some all-star games to talk about here, or all-star game rosters to talk about. My Red Sox trying to do some damage here against the Yankees. We got this game on tonight. What a game last night. Oh my goodness. I was out with some friends last night. I was having a nice cold beverage with a couple of friends. Please drink responsibly. And I'm watching Alex Verdugo up to the plate, just coming through in a big spot. Man, oh man, we could not lose that one last night. Can't lose three straight out of in a four-game series. My goodness, come on. But my goodness, what a game that was last night. What I find hilarious about that is I feel like I heard none of these baseball experts out there, you know, these baseball writers, none of them were talking about Alex Verdugo. And I'm thinking, hello, this guy just got the game-winning hit. But you know what everyone was talking about? Everyone was talking about the fact that he's actually up to the plate right now. Jeter Downs scored the game-winning run. He did have a big hit there in the end, but hey, I love what he did, but it's like, I'm so tired of the lazy journalism. I really am. It's like, oh, just because his name is Jeter, is named after Derek Jeter. It's like, oh my goodness, I get it. Like, ha, funny. I know. Yeah, Jeter against the Yankees, hilarious. I know. Oh, it dropped. Oh, did we get the run scores? It is 7-6, and the Red Sox have taken the lead. They did get the out at second, but that is what I am talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, everyone was talking about Jeter Downs scoring the game-winning run, and I'm like, hello, Alex Verdugo got the game-winning hit, big game, nothing for Verdugo. Okay, but anyway, we got a lot to talk about tonight. All-Star Game snubs as well. I got a few written down here on my little notepad. A little cheesed off about a couple of guys not making it. I understand some of it had to do logistics, you know, so because you have to have a player from every team. I do think that is what kind of held up some of it, but still, the fact that some of these guys didn't make the All-Star Game is absolutely absurd, if you ask me. But anyway, let's get to it. We do have a couple of sponsors for tonight's show. We are partners with SeatGeek over here. I know some of you are looking to go to a game sometime soon. So if you're going to a game, go use SeatGeek. What are you doing? Go look at SeatGeek. Go find yourself a deal. And when you do find yourself a deal, go use my code HIDE, $20 off your first purchase. Everyone, don't forget, we are still partners with Prize Picks over here. So if you're into the sports betting game, use my code GINGER. You'll get a 100% deposit match. Alrighty. let's get to it here. Have I covered everything? Oh, also, I'm going to be pre-recording tonight's Believe in Red Sox podcast. I will not be able to go live with it tomorrow morning because I have a training for work that I have to go to. So we'll be unable to go live, so I will be pre-recording that tonight. So be on the lookout for that. Everyone, if you missed it on Thursday, we had our co-host join for the first time. If you missed it, my goodness, you missed a treat because we had Jonathan Papelbon on the show on Thursday. Jonathan Papelbon, Red Sox legend, best closer in Red Sox history, joining the show on Thursday. My goodness, that was a great time. But definitely be on the lookout for that. Also, everyone, every single Wednesday night, me and John from Baseball Trade Values, we're going to be talking all the trade talk from here on out. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday nights with us. So, alrighty, everyone. Let's get to it here. We got a lot to talk about. If you are new to the Power Rankings, I'll show you really quick kind of how I do it here. Let's get the music turned on. Let's get the vibe set. I got everything set tonight, everyone. Here we go. All right, so these are last week's Power Rankings. Also, I want to say we have been getting a lot of traffic on the channel lately. We've had probably over the last month almost 1,000 subscribers join the show. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you coming by. And if this is your first time for Power Rankings, well, welcome to Power Rankings. So these were last week's Power Rankings. I do it on Tier Maker. I have 6 different tiers, 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, 16 through 20, 21 through 25, 26 through 30. And as you can see, my top 5, we had the Yankees, Astros, Dodgers, Mets, and the Braves. We are definitely going to be having a bit of a shakeup here in this week's Power Rankings. So, but before I do get to the rankings, I just want to go over the All-Star Game rosters really quick. I find it absolutely absurd that Xander Bogaerts is not starting the All-Star Game. He's going to the All-Star Game, but the fact that these people, I'm sorry. Listen, I trust that everyone here in the chat is intelligent enough to know, and this is not bias, Xander Bogaerts should be starting this game. I'm just going to point that out. You know, let me just show you here. Let's go to the rankings. As of right now, Xander Bogaerts, he's having a better offensive season than Tim Anderson. 16.3 offense compared to 9.8. 5.2 defense compared to 3.7. A 3.4 Fangraph WAR compared to 2.2. What are we doing? If you pick Tim Anderson, shame on you. Shame on you. None of you in this chat better not have picked Tim Anderson. None of you. You better not have. You better not have. All the White Sox fans out there. You know, here's the thing with me. I'm not even gonna vote. Like, if there's a Red Sox player who I feel like is not deserving of getting a vote, I don't care that he's on my team. I'm not gonna vote for him. I'm gonna pick the best player. Why are we doing this every single year? Every single year. I ranted about it last year, a couple of years ago, and we're doing it again this year. Why is Xander Bogaerts not starting? He didn't even make it to the final 3 or whatever it was. Like, what the heck is going on? What are you people doing out there? Not any of you in the chat, but my goodness, Tim Anderson should not be starting this game. I'm sorry, but that's absurd. Absolutely absurd. I mean, honestly, Giancarlo Stanton starting here. I mean, I know I am sounding completely just giraffe neck Robbie right now with Red Sox bias, but I mean, come on, there are just a lot of guys out here. I mean, if we take a look at Giancarlo Stanton, man, right now he's having, you know, I get it, 21 home runs, but he's only hitting 232 with a 317 on base. I mean, why is he starting? Why is he here? I don't understand this. Of course, Judge and Trout, I'm all about that, but why is Stanton here? This makes no sense. Like, I mean, not even Julio. Like, I mean, to me, I would think Julio Rodriguez would have maybe gotten enough votes to start, you know, very young, amazing player. Could be one of the next greatest players in the game. I'm surprised he didn't get the start. Even someone like Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's been great. Or even Byron Buxton. I would have been fine with either of those guys, but why is Giancarlo Stanton starting this game? I don't know, man. It's just like, what I don't like about this is that it's not representing the actual best players. That's what bothers me about it. It's like, I get it. You want to vote for your favorite player. And there's times where, yeah, you can definitely make an argument for, maybe even Jose Ramirez had an argument for third base. When I did my early All-Star game voting, I leaned towards Jose Ramirez. I just preferred him. You could have gone either way. So, but when you have someone like Giancarlo Stanton starting the game, it's just, I get it. He hits the long ball, but it's not representing the best players in the game. To me, I would have been completely okay with Julio Rodriguez getting that start. Or Byron Buxton. I think Byron Buxton would have been great. He's a fun, energetic player, Kyle Tucker, I think, would have been an awesome pick. I don't know. I just think it's a little absurd that Stanton is starting this game. Tim Anderson, I think he should be here, but not starting. For the National League, I think the easy one here is Dansby Swanson. I'm sorry, but I love Trey Turner. I think he should be at the All-Star game, but Dansby Swanson is the best shortstop statistically in Major League Baseball right now. This is ridiculous. I mean, I get it. Trey Turner's right there, but it's not even an argument. Swanson's having the better offensive season, and he's playing much better defense. How does he not get to the All-Star game? I really don't understand. I mean, I don't know. They're both having really good seasons, but Swanson has been better. So I don't know. I think Turner should be there, but and Tommy Edman. Why is Tommy Edman not at the All-Star game? I mean, let me just make sure. Did I miss him? Did I miss Tommy Edman? Let me go to the reserves. Like, why is Tommy Edman not here? He's one of the best players in Major League Baseball this year. If we go to the rankings, Tommy Edman is 12th overall in Fangraph WAR right now. I get it. Like, he's hitting 257, 324, 7 homers, but he's got 32 stolen bases, but he's playing great defense everywhere he's playing. He's got 19 stolen bases. I don't know. I mean, I get it. For the casual, they're going to look at the slash line and be like, oh, he's only hitting 257, 7 home runs. I think he should be at least a reserve. I mean, why is he not here? I mean, but that's another thing, too. You do have to have one representative. I'm sorry. I think this is ridiculous. I don't know. I just think the doing the legacy picks with Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera, I get it, but like, so let me just clarify this. Did they add an additional roster spot for this, or are they just included? If they added a spot for the legacy guys, then I guess I'm okay with it. But did they add the spot? Okay, so if they added the spot, okay, fine. I was going to say, if they're like taking up a spot, then it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. But another one that I find hilarious is Martin Perez. Not that I love that he's here, but what I find hilarious about it is that the fact that Martin Perez is here and neither Corey Seager or Marcus Semien is here, I find that pretty funny if you ask me. But hey, good for Martin Perez, man. He absolutely deserves to be here. He's having a heck of a year, man. But it's just, to me, hilarious that you sign those two guys to massive deals and then Martin Perez was the guy that got there. That's crazy. I honestly don't think Luis Castillo should be there. To be honest with you, if I were to, I'm guessing that's the only, he is there because of, you need one representative for each team. I think he's the lone representative for the Cincinnati Reds. Why is Brandon Drury not here? Hello? I mean, has anyone seen what Brandon Drury's been doing this year? He's been fantastic. Why is Brandon Drury not at the All-Star game? Why is he not representing the Cincinnati Reds? He is 36th right now in Fangraph WAR. He's been playing great. He's having his best season He's got a 138 WRC plus. He's playing multiple positions, 18 home runs, 50 RBIs. I mean, I love Luis Castillo. I mean, I'm nothing against him, but he missed the first month of the season. You know, he's been good. I'm not like taking anything away from Castillo, but Drury has been awesome this year. Why is Brandon Drury not at the All-Star game? I don't get that. I mean, obviously, Alcantara definitely should be here. You know, Burns definitely. I love the Joe Mantiply pick. I love that. I think he's the only one from the Diamondbacks there. I love that. Joe Mantiply. The guy's been having a heck of a year. Struggling a little bit lately. Here we go. We got 2 outs in the 7th here. Red Sox looking for a win. But yeah, I don't know. Some other guys that I wrote down. Oh, Kevin Gausman. Why is Kevin Gausman not at the All-Star game? He is number 1 in Fangraph WAR with Carlos Rodon. Kevin Gausman is not here. Why? Why is Kevin Gausman not at the All-Star game? Who were the Blue Jays representatives? Who were the Blue Jays? Okay, so you have Manoah, Springer, Vlad. I mean, definitely Kirk. Sawamura shutting him down, man. Oh, look who struck out. Giancarlo Stanton. Take a seat, Stanton. You shouldn't be at the All-Star game, you bum. Vlad, yeah, I think that's fine. I like that these guys are here, but, like, how is Gausman not here? He's number 1 in Fangraph WAR. I don't get it. This guy's having a heck of a year. Did Carlos Rodon get to the game? No, Carlos Rodon is not at the All-Star game? Am I missing him? No, they didn't have Carlos Rodon? Who on the Giants is there? So, who's there for the Giants? Jock Peterson is the All-Star guy? He's there? What? Well, he's not here. Where? Honestly, I'm going to say this right now. This might be a bit of a hot take. I think Brandon Nimmo should be there over Starling Marte. Am I the only one that thinks that? Where is Jock Peterson? He's starting? Wow! Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. Jock Peterson is starting? No way, man. No, you can't have Jock Peterson starting, man. Oh my goodness. I mean, he's not having a bad year, but no, you can't do that. What are we doing? Come on. National League. Where? Let me go here. 50 at-bats. All right, Peterson. He's 19th in Fangraph WAR. So you had all these guys. Is Brian Reynolds at the All-Star game? I mean, what are we doing here? How about okay, everyone likes offense, so let's just look at offense. I mean, Brandon Nimmo's having a better offensive season. I mean, what are we doing? Well, Peterson's got a higher WRC plus. You know what? Let me go to the WRC plus. All right, I'll give that for Peterson. He's top 3 in WRC plus. Oh wow, you know, I just noticed Juan Soto's. That's why I'm thinking like Soto is starting probably. I'm guessing Soto is. Yeah, he's on the bench. Man, I mean, I don't know, man. I guess you can make a case for Peterson. I don't know. Peterson has that. He's got that it factor about him. Like, that's what I can understand. But, we take a look just at some other guys here. Who are some other guys? Nico Horner was a guy that I think could have maybe had a case. Is Nico Horner going? There's just so many players to keep track of. No Nico Horner. I thought he would have been fine. Who's going for the Cubs? Who we got going for the Cubs? Contreras and okay. I think those are good. But I think Nico Horner had a case to get there. But I don't know, man. There's Josh Bell, too. Josh Bell's not going. I mean, Bell has the same WRC plus as Soto. So, you know, he's got more RBIs than Soto, too. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I just think there's always snubs every single year. I understand you have to have a representative from each team. So, I don't know. In my opinion, I think it just should be the best players. But then again, I can also understand how you want to represent every single team there. You know, it's the marketing factor. So, anyway, let's get to it here. Let's get to the power rankings. So, yeah, James, I see you in the chat. Carlos Rodon not going to the All-Star game is a travesty, if you ask me. Absolute travesty. All righty, here we go. I got my notes. Probably going to power through these tonight, everyone. Don't have a lot of time because I got to pre-record the Red Sox podcast coming up. But let's get to it here. So, again, here were my power rankings from last week, just in case you missed it. In the top 5, I had the Yankees, Astros, Dodgers, Mets, and the Braves. And rounding out the top 10, I had the Padres, Red Sox, Brewers, Twins, and the Cardinals. So let's get to it, everyone. Here we go. A fresh slate. Starting at number 30, we have another team. Once again, a new team in the number 30 position. This has been the hot potato position. These teams can't decide who the worst team is. But this week, I'm going with the Nationals. Last week, it was the A's, and now it's the Nationals. They have lost 9 out of their last 10. Juan Soto, we were just talking about him, though. Juan Soto, this guy's been on fire over the last 15 games. He's hitting .409 with a .567 on base, a .705 slugging, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. This guy is on fire. He was slumping for a little bit there, but Juan Soto has completely come alive. Also, trade rumors, the Mets are showing interest in Nelson Cruz. Be on the lookout for that. I think the Mets could use another power bat. Do they turn to someone like Nelson Cruz? We'll have to wait and see. Coming in at number 29, I got the A's, the number 30 team last year, or from last week, sorry. They won 2 out of 3 against Toronto this week, but they lost 2 out of 3 against Houston. Now the A's, their bullpen has actually been pretty good lately. They have the 5th best bullpen in the last 7 days. Paul Blackburn, he's going to the All-Star game. He's had himself a pretty good year. But as for the A's, not a whole lot going on here. At number 28, we got the Kansas City Royals. The Royals moving up a little bit. They won 2 out of 3 against Cleveland this week, but they lost 3 out of 4 against Houston. Their offense has actually been really good lately, though. 5th in offense over the last 7 days. Andrew Benintendi going to the All-Star game for the Royals this year. And reports from a few days ago, the Yankees are showing interest in Andrew Benintendi. Supposedly, there have been conversations between the Yankees and the Royals. I think that would be a big pickup for the Yankees. And the other part of that, too, is that the Yankees are looking to make a deal to send Joey Gallo somewhere else. That experiment has just not worked out. I think Andrew Benintendi would be a much better fit for the Yankees. I think they need a guy that can hit for average. A left-handed bat like Benintendi that would be really good at Yankee Stadium. That would make me cry myself to sleep every single night. But what can you do? Number 26, or sorry, number 27. I got the Cincinnati Reds. What a week for the Reds, huh? I mean, my goodness, you lose 2 out of 3 to the Mets. You split with Pittsburgh. And then you sweep the Rays over the weekend. Did everyone see the walk-off balk last night? Are you kidding me? What the heck was that? I mean, I think it was rightfully called. Whistler was kind of moving his glove hand a little bit. And, hey, the umpire, I think he called it correctly. I think that was a balk. And what a wild way, man, to end that game. Could you imagine if a World Series game ended with a balk? Could you just imagine that? Verdugo with a base hit. That gets on through. And the Red Sox got the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 7th with no outs. Here we go. Coming in. At number 27, the Reds. wild week, man, getting the walk-off balk. Their starting pitching has been really good lately. They've ranked 7th over the last 7 days. Luis Castillo. I do think Brandon Drury should have gotten the All-Star game nod for the Reds, but he has been good over his last couple of starts, a 1.29 ERA over his last 2 starts. Nick Lodolo had 8 strikeouts against the Mets the other night. Even Graham Ashcraft looked good against the Mets. He's actually not been all that bad. Not all that bad. ERA in the low 4s, FIP in the low 4s. He's not doing too bad. Hunter Green threw like over 200 pitches, over 100 miles an hour the other night. That guy is just insane. The Reds, man, getting some good pitching lately. Rounding out the bottom tier, I got the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not a whole lot to talk about here with the Pirates. They split with the Yankees. They got pummeled by the Yankees in one of those games, but then they won the other one against former Pirate Jamison Tyone. They won 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee. Hey, they've been getting some good starting pitching. Quintana, Contreras, Wilson, they all look pretty good. So the Pirates, they move up a little bit for me, but not a whole lot to talk about. They did pretty good this past week, though. Moving into the next tier. At number 25, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hey, not a bad week, up and down week, but not a bad week by any means. They did just lose 3 out of 4 to the Rockies, but they won 2 out of 3 against the Giants. Their offense was top 10 last week, and their starting pitching. Their FIP over the last 7 days is a 3.60, so that's pretty solid. Dallas Keuchel, man. The guy had a start the other night. He went 7 innings, 3 runs allowed against Colorado. That was his best start all year. When you look at his game score, look at Dallas Keuchel, man. Even Bumgarner, his last 2 starts, he's gotten the win. His last couple of starts. Could Madison Bumgarner maybe be a trade candidate? Maybe. I don't think so. I think it's going to be too tough to get rid of that contract. But maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I could see the Diamondbacks hanging on to him, though, because the Diamondbacks, they got a good farm. Look out, man. Oh, that's hit deep. That's back off the wall. Clear the bases. Clear the bases. Come on home. He's safe. And the Red Sox clear the bases. It is 10-6 Boston. Let's go. Woo! Trevor's story. That is what I'm talking about, man. I thought it was gone for a second, man. Holy cow. Back to the power rankings. Diamondbacks looking all right lately. Coming in at number 24. Who do I got at 24? We got the Chicago Cubs coming in at number 24. They won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers, but then they got swept by the Dodgers. Not a whole lot to talk about here with the Cubs. Nothing really noteworthy. Seiya Suzuki has been hitting well since coming back from the IL, hitting over 300 since coming back, so that's a good sign. Here we go. Coming in at number 23, we just mentioned the Colorado Rockies. They're coming in at number 23. Oh, we got a super chat coming in. Brandon Dillman with a $10 super chat. You can just go ahead and put that O's logo in the number 1 spot. I mean, hey, for right now, man, I'll do that for you. We're going to put the Orioles at number 1 for the $10 super chat. That is subject to change, though, my friend. Subject to change. But because you did the $10, we'll go put the Orioles at number 1 just so you can get a taste of what it looks like. Here we go. We got another super chat coming in. Yogi Dude, imagine the M's and the O's. Could you imagine, man? Oh, could you imagine that in the ALCS? That could be a possible, definitely a matchup in the playoffs over the next few years. Man, oh, man. But thank you for the super chats. I do really appreciate that. Who do we got next? Oh, yeah, we put the Rockies at number 23. They got swept by the Dodgers, but they did win their series against the Diamondbacks. Chris Bryant has been hitting like crazy lately. CJ Cron, he just got named to the All-Star game. He's been hot. But, man, oh, man. Did we get another super chat come in? Oh, no, that was from before. But, yeah, Rockies coming in at number 23. At number 22, we have the Detroit Tigers. They're playing some great baseball lately, man. They won 6 straight against Cleveland and then the White Sox, but then they lost their last 2. They've had the worst offense this year, but they're 15th over the last 7 games, so the offense has been doing a little bit better. Miguel Cabrera just getting named to the All-Star game. First time they're doing these legacy picks or whatever you call them. I think it's a good, hey, give him that All-Star game, especially for someone like Pujols as well. who, going to be retiring. I think that'd be great that he's at the All-Star game, honestly. The Tigers' bullpen has been phenomenal this year. It's been absolutely phenomenal. The fourth best bullpen this year. And Gregory Soto from that bullpen heading to the All-Star game. Michael Fulmer's been really good. I expect him to be a trade candidate. I don't think the Tigers are going to trade Soto. I just don't. I think they definitely hang on to him. But also a fun fact. Robbie Grossman today, he made an error. And that was his first error in 440 games. And I guess that was a record. Oh, the Yankees are falling apart here. Trevor Story scores. It is 11-6. Franchi Cordero getting it done again. He had a 2-run bomb in the beginning. The Red Sox bats are coming alive, man. Look at that bunt, man. Look at that bunt. Oh, man, picture rushed it, man. Threw a red at Cordero. Number 21. Oh, my goodness. We got the Angels. The Angels are just free-falling, everyone. They are free-falling. They are 11 games under 500. Of course, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout are all-stars, but it's like, honestly, I find that so sad, so sad and just depressing that once again, it's the Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani show. And it really, honestly, if you're the Angels, I mean, you got to be embarrassed. Those are your two all-stars. That's your team. It's like, it's embarrassing, What can you do? What happened to this offense? They were once a top 5 offense at one point this year, and now they're 22nd. That's nuts. Crazy. Their starting pitching has been pretty good. I will say this about their starting pitching. They ranked 9th over the last 7 days. Ohtani, Sandoval, Syndergaard, Detmers came back up from the minors not too long ago. He did actually pretty good in his last start. The starting pitching is looking really good for the Angels, but the bullpen's not really coming through. Raisel Iglesias has had a pretty good year. But, man, the Angels, you just got swept by the Orioles. I mean, what can you do here? What can you do? The Angels, I don't know. To me, I think you just need to blow the whole thing up. Just blow it up, start over. I don't know. They're never going to do that. Coming in at number 20, we got the Texas Rangers at number 20. The reason the Rangers, they drop a couple of spots from last week, they were at 18, mainly because we're having some other teams get really hot. But the Rangers have not been playing that great over the last 10. They've lost 7 out of their last 10. They were also another team victim of the hot Baltimore Orioles. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Twins, though. Offense ranks 7th in their last 7 days. The bullpen's been pretty good, ranking 13th. The starting pitching has been lacking, though, 23rd overall in the last 7 days. Martin Perez, the lone all-star. Again, I find it hilarious because Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, those were the big signings in the offseason, and neither of them were an all-star, but Martin Perez was an all-star. Coming in at number 19, we got the Cleveland Guardians playing not great lately. They've lost 8 out of their last 10. They were red hot not too long ago, man. They were red hot, but they just got swept by the Tigers. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Royals. The offense did put up 13 runs on Saturday, but other than that, pretty low scoring in their other games. The starting pitching has been pretty good, but their bullpen has been a thorn in their side. They only ranked 29th over the last week. So, coming in at number 18, we got the Chicago White Sox. Oh, they're showing a replay. I thought someone else just hit a home run. But the White Sox, they are playing better. I do think they have a run in them. I do. I think the White Sox, if there's one team I would pick in the second half that's going to get hot, I'm going to go with the White Sox. They are playing a little better lately. They did lose 2 out of 3 to the Twins. They split with Detroit, but they're starting to show some signs that offense is coming alive. 6th in offense over the last week. The starting pitching has been okay. The bullpen's been a little shaky. But I think the White Sox, I think they just need to put it all together. I think they think they're going to have a big second half. Moving on to number 17. Man, oh man, the San Francisco Giants. They are just falling. Last week, I had them at number 15. They were once a top 10 team, and now they're down to number 17, mainly because they're not playing great, and other teams are playing really good. But the Giants, number 17, 12 runs today. but not playing great baseball overall lately. They split with the Padres, but they lost 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks. The starting pitching has been really good. Logan Webb, 8 scoreless against the Padres. Carlos Rodon, all-star game snub, 12 strikeouts against the Padres. How did that guy not make the all-star game? Like, what are we doing? What the heck are we doing over here? I don't get it. But the offense and the bullpen, they've been struggling. Bottom 5 in the major leagues over the last week. Austin Slater's been good. He's hitting 400 over his last 7 games, but everyone else is slumping. They got a lot of guys on the IL right now. The Giants, they're just struggling. They're going through a tough stretch. So I could see the Giants heating back up eventually, though. Coming in at number 16, we got the Miami Marlins. The Marlins last week ahead at 17. They move up 1 spot. The Marlins are playing pretty well lately, 7-3 in their last 10. They split with the Mets over the weekend. They split with the Angels. They swept the Nationals from their series last weekend. Playing pretty good. The starting pitching has been key. 4 wins this week came by 3 or less runs. Man, oh man, they have had to rely on that starting pitching quite a bit. Sandy Alcantara has been an absolute maniac. You can't stop that guy. I think he has a case to start the All-Star game, to be completely honest. Braxton Garrett, Pablo Lopez, they've been pretty solid lately. The relief pitching, a 3.42 ERA. However, the Marlins, they're going to need to go get an arm if they want to compete in the second half, because the ERA lately for the bullpen is a 3.42. But the FIP is a 5.30, a much higher FIP. So their bullpen, they're going to have to address that. Alcantara, Jazz Chisholm making the All-Star game. This Marlins team, they're looking pretty good lately. They're quietly playing really well. I think the Marlins could be a team that go on a run. Everyone, we have reached the halfway point. And that is my time to take a break, stretch a little bit, and also remind you, if you are new to the channel, think about hitting that subscribe button. We've been getting a ton of subscribers lately. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to my latest videos, my one trade for each team by the trade deadline. We're getting a ton of views on that video, so I want to thank you for everyone that's clicked on that video and liked the video and watched the video. So thank you for that. And also, I gave my mid-season rankings the other day. That video's doing very well. We're getting a lot of traffic from just those 2 videos alone, so I appreciate all the new subscribers. Everyone, hit that like button for me. Everyone, where are we at with the likes? Everyone? We're at 89 likes, and we got 244 people in the chat. What the heck are we doing? Everyone, hit that like button right now. Share the stream as well. Alrighty, let's get to it. Opening up the top 15, who would have thought? Okay, now we're going to move the Baltimore Orioles back down. Thank you again for the super chat. I do appreciate that. But we're going to put the Orioles at number 15. But oh my goodness, this Baltimore Orioles team is playing really good. Last week, I had the Orioles at number 23. But I've been saying all year about this Orioles team. Don't even act like I haven't been talking about this Orioles team this year. They're a good team. I've been praising this Orioles team all year. So it's good to see that this team is on this kind of a run. It's awesome. They're just playing incredible lately. Again, they cracked the top 15 for the first time this year. They've won 8 straight games. They swept the Angels. They swept the Rangers this week. Over the last 7 days, their offense ranks 14th. Cedric Mullins, Adley Rutschman, Ronette Odor, they have been solid. Even Ryan McKenna has been really good lately off the bench. The starting pitching, Tyler Wells, Spencer Watkins, Jordan Lyles, Dean Kramer, all had a win this past week. The starting pitching has been getting it done. And their bullpen's been really good all year. They've had one of the best bullpens this year. My goodness. They're just getting a lot of production there. It is just really good to see the Baltimore Orioles, man. Jorge Lopez getting it done at the back end. He's going to the All-Star game. Really love what the Orioles are doing. A much-deserved spot here at number 15. Let's see if they can keep moving on up. And one team that they are starting to creep on are the Toronto Blue Jays. If we go take a look, let me pull up the standings here. Matt Strahm in for the 8th. We got a 5-run lead. That's what I'm talking about, man. But taking a look at the division standings, I mean, the Yankees are winning this division, but the Toronto Blue Jays are only 2 games behind the ice-cold, the Orioles are only 2 games behind the ice-cold Toronto Blue Jays. My goodness. Like, what the heck is going on here? I mean, look at the wild card standings. The Orioles are 2 out of a playoff spot. That is incredible. Incredible. There's a lot of teams right now competing for that 3rd wild card. I mean, look at Seattle now is tied. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a wild race. What an epic second half this is going to be. I'm excited for it. But the Toronto Blue Jays coming in at number 14, they're ice cold. They have lost 9 out of their last 10. They got swept by the Mariners this week. They lost 2 out of 3 to the A's. Their offense only ranks 20th in the last week, 25th in starting pitching, 29th in relief pitching. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., they have been good. Springer and Bichette, they homer today, but overall, this offense has been slumping. Kevin Gausman, he's day-to-day with the ankle right now. No one else has really been able to step up lately in the starting pitching. Alek Manoah, he's been okay. But the Toronto Blue Jays, man, the starting pitching not looking great. The bullpen has not been good this year. I remember in the offseason, everyone was drinking the Blue Jays Kool-Aid. Everyone. I even bought into it. I did. But I remember looking at the Blue Jays in the offseason, right? When they added Kevin Gausman, okay? When they added Kevin Gausman, you got to remember, you added Gausman after losing the Cy Young winner in Robbie Ray. You got to remember, when you're looking at it just in terms of wins, I mean, I don't know. You weren't really making much of a difference there. They added Matt Chapman as well, but Chapman didn't really have a great year last year. He's not really doing that great this year. He's okay, but the Blue Jays really, from last year's team, and I know Vlad obviously had the amazing season that he had, but could you really expect Vlad to duplicate that kind of a season again or even get better? I mean, I don't know. I remember thinking about that Blue Jays team, and I'm like, I don't know. I see a good team here, but do you really see a much better team with the Blue Jays? I mean, they're ice cold right now, man. It's not looking good. They need that all-star break. This is a team that I think will get hot in the second half, but don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if the Blue Jays just completely, they turn into a letdown this year. Don't be surprised. I think they're going to be fine, but they're going to have to pick up the pace, especially now that you got the Mariners here, and now Baltimore is sneaking in here. How long can they keep this up? I don't know. Cleveland, I think they're going to hang around. The White Sox are a talented team. I think that can get into it. That can get back into it. I don't know. You know, there's going to be a lot of competition here. Oh, fly ball. There we go. I thought that was going to get off the wall. But the Blue Jays, they got to start picking up the pace. Back to another red-hot team. We got the Seattle Mariners coming in at number 13. Red-hot. Carlos Santana, they just traded for him recently from the Kansas City Royals. Had the go-ahead home run today. Starting pitching has been awesome over the last 7 days. A 1.77 ERA. Bullpen has been fantastic. A 0.89 ERA over the last week. Paul Sewald, 10th save today. Julio Rodriguez, the lone all-star for the Seattle Mariners. Probably should have had Ty France there as well. Julio Rodriguez should be starting over Giancarlo Stanton. Why is Giancarlo Stanton starting in the All-Star game? That is just a I hate that. Shame on you for people that voted Giancarlo Stanton to be a starter. Shame on you. But Julio Rodriguez, the 6th rookie in franchise history to make the All-Star game. The 3rd 21-year-old in Mariners history to make the All-Star game. The only other 2, Alex Rodriguez and Ken Griffey Jr. Julio Rodriguez is amazing, and he should be starting in the All-Star game. Number 12, we have the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals not playing great lately. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Phillies, 3 out of 4 to the Braves. their offense has been slumping lately, man. 30th in offense in the last 7 days. Starting pitching has not been that great. 28th overall in the last week. Their bullpen's been really good, though. 7th in relief pitching. I mean, you've had guys like Goldschmidt, Arenado hitting great lately, but a lot of guys are slumping in that lineup. They got to start putting it back together. But for the All-Stars, you got Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, obviously getting there. And Ryan Helsley, hey, well-deserved getting to the All-Star game. And also Albert Pujols. I think that's good for the game of baseball that he'll be there. But the Cardinals right now, they're kind of just in this, bit of a slump right now. I think they'll end up getting it together. But they come in at number 12 for me. Moving ahead of, and also the Cardinals last week, they fall out of the top 10. I had them at number 10 last week. So they fall out. And they drop to 12, while the Rays move up to number 11. So, the Rays, they've been playing pretty good baseball lately. However, except for this past weekend, you getting swept by the Reds. You had the walk-off balk. That's a tough game to lose, man. That's a tough game. But lately, over the last couple of weeks, the Rays have been playing a lot better. Shane Baz, he got roughed up today, man. The injuries are once again happening to the Rays. Wander Franco, Kevin Kiermaier, Jeffrey Springs to the IL. Shane McClanahan, though, going to the All-Star game. But the Rays, just a bad weekend. But I think this Rays team is going to be fine. They're looking pretty good lately. We got another Super Chat coming in. JM1231, $2 Super Chat with the M's. Just wait till Clue and Hani get back. Yeah, dude. Mitch Haniger, he hasn't even been there. My goodness. And Kyle Lewis. I mean, if those guys are healthy in that lineup, oh my God. That's going to be, I think the Mariners are going to end up getting in the playoffs. If I were to have a bold prediction for the second half, I think the Mariners get a wild card spot. I really do. I picked the Mariners to go to the American League Championship Series this year, and I think they're getting hot at the right time. So that's a bold prediction for me. Coming in at number 9. No, coming in number 10. We're at number 10 here. Number 10, I got the Twins. I had the Twins last week at number 9. So they drop one spot for this week. But for the Twins, up and down week. Won 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Rangers. The offense was pretty good last week, ranked 7th overall. Luis Arraez, man, he has been amazing. He's hitting .355 this year. He's got a .426 on base. Man, this guy's phenomenal. Actually, the numbers that I looked at weren't updated, so that might have actually gone up a little bit. But Jorge Polanco, a few homers this past week. The pitching has been pretty bad. Dylan Bundy, Winder, they looked okay this week, going 5 innings, but everyone else getting roughed up a little bit. 27th overall on the week for the Twins starting pitching. The bullpen has been a weak spot for the Twins all year. So I imagine the Twins, they're going to go out there and they're going to look for some pitching. We'll have to wait and see what they end up doing. But the Twins, they are still a top 10 team for me. The Red Sox, man, have not been playing that great lately. They're playing good right now. They're playing good right now. Got a 5-run lead here. Looking like hopefully we can hang on to this one. But the Red Sox, they really need this all-star break. They really do. They just look like a sluggish team. They've got injuries right now. They're waiting for some of these guys to come back. Chris Sale's going to be back. Nathan Eovaldi, he just had a rehab start. Joe Hill with a $5 super chat. Riley Green, future all-star and gold glover. Riley Green, man, he went to high school right near where I lived. So, man, Riley Green, I think, how far do I live from the high school that he went to? I think he went to, I don't remember if it was Haggerty. I think it was Haggerty High School. I know it was a high school right near me. I think it was Haggerty. Haggerty High School. Yeah. Paul J. Haggerty High School. Yeah. I do not live far from there. But Riley Green, man, he is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that guy's just an all-around player, man. He's going to be great. So, Tigers, they're not going to get anywhere this year, but I think they are that offense is well-equipped for years to come. But back to the Red Sox. Like I said, you got Eovaldi coming back soon. He just had a rehab start this past weekend. Chris Sale going to be starting this coming week. Garrett Whitlock, he's going to have another rehab start. So you're getting some guys, some reinforcements coming in for the Red Sox. Kike Hernandez, he's still having problems with that hip. I don't know what you're going to do, with Kike, man. I don't know, but he's been trying to get this hip going, and it's just not responding. So But for the Red Sox, the offense has been fine. The pitching has not been all that great. They've been using a lot of spot starters lately. They've had to really challenge their minor league depth, and they were coming through a lot with that for them during a stretch. But a lot of these spot starts are going up against bad teams, you know. So when you're going up against teams like the Yankees, the Rays, the Blue Jays, who are cold, I understand that, but the Blue Jays offense, like Connor Siebold, got completely roughed up against the Blue Jays, got roughed up against the Yankees the other night. Cutter Crawford, Josh Winkowski, these guys are only going to be able to do so much for so long. They need guys like Eovaldi and Sale and Whitlock to come back. That's a base hit up the middle. But the Red Sox, they need this all-star break. Last week, they were at number 7. They drop a couple of spots for this week. Coming in at number 8, we got the Milwaukee Brewers. Coming in number 8. That's the same spot they were at last week. No change there. Corbin Burns, Josh Hader going to the All-Star game. Well-deserved. Those guys are having great seasons. But they lost their last 2 series, so I'm not ready to drop them out of the top 10 because they did a lot to get back to this point. I want to see how they do for next week. But a lot of games they lost this past week to the Pirates and the Cubs were very close games, so their offense was not coming through a lot this past week. It's been very good over the last few weeks, but this last week the offense was not coming through. Pitching has been doing pretty good, but the Brewers right now just slumping a little bit with that offense, so they hang on to number 8 for me. Now, this is where I'm going to start seeing some people maybe getting a little what's the right term here? I could see some debate happening here. Coming in at number 7, I have the Padres. Coming in at number 7. They lost both to Seattle this past week. They split with the Giants. Their starting pitching has been great all year. The bullpen has been solid all year, and they have been very good lately as well. The offense needs a bat. That offense is slumping. 27th in the last 14 days. You got a lot of guys underperforming. Right now with the Padres. They dropped a couple of games this past week. So who's coming in at number 6? Who is knocking on the door for the top 5? Who is knocking on the door? You know what team I'm going for number 6? I'm going with the Phillies. This Phillies team is good, man. They are playing great, even without Bryce Harper. These guys are hitting bombs. Kyle Schwarber going to the All-Star game. My goodness. Do people realize how good this Phillies team is? I don't think people realize it. I don't think you even see it. Let me just show you. Let's go to the rankings for all year. Do you realize that the Phillies all year are just really good? And when it comes to the overall rankings, for the offense, they are 12th overall in offense. 12th overall. The starting pitching has been the best all year. They're still doing really good over the last 7 days, but the Phillies, they have the number 1 starting pitching this entire season. Aaron Nola, my goodness, he's been fantastic. Zach Wheeler, he's been fantastic. Zach Eflin, Kyle Gibson have been solid for the most part. This Phillies starting pitching, number 1 overall on the year, really good. And do you realize that bullpen? This is where I'm thinking a lot of people are like, whoa, the Phillies bullpen. Do you know how good this Phillies bullpen has been doing lately? They have been doing so good that they have vaulted themselves into the top 10 in all of Major League Baseball for the whole year. Let me show you how good this Phillies bullpen has been doing. Over the last 7 days, the Phillies bullpen is 9th overall. But that's in Fangraph WAR. If we look at ERA over the last 7 days, the Phillies are number 1 in ERA over the last 7 days. How about the last 14 days? The Phillies rank 2nd in Fangraph WAR over the last 2 weeks. And then they also rank number 1 in ERA. How about the last 30 days? I actually didn't look this one up earlier. The last 30 days, they rank 8th in Fangraph WAR with their relief pitching. My goodness. This Phillies bullpen has been phenomenal, and I don't think people realize it. The Phillies are a good team. They are an all-around good team right now. They're winning a lot of games, even without Bryce Harper, even with Nick Castellanos slumping this year. They're a good team. They're a good team. I'm going to show them some love. 12th in offense, 1st in starting pitching, top 10 bullpen. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know. And that's even without Bryce Harper. You know, I'm just saying. So the Phillies, for me, they're knocking on the door for the top 5. And you know who should be a little worried about the Phillies right now? This team is moving down from last week. They were at number 4 last week, the New York Mets. They moved down to number 5. The Mets, they need this All-Star break. They need it desperately. Absolutely need it desperately. They need it because they got guys that are still coming back from the IL. Good play from Jeter Downs, man. Of course, it's on ESPN, so they're gonna talk about Jeter Downs for the next 2 hours because Jeter Downs made a play against the Yankees. He made the barehanded play. Oh my God, I could already see it now. I can see it now. I love Jeter Downs, man, I do, but ESPN has already shown 3 replays of Jeter Downs making this play, and the only reason they're doing it is because of his name. Oh my God, please stop this. Please stop. Enough is enough. Anyway, the Mets, they need this All-Star break. They won 2 out of 3 against the Reds, but they split with the Marlins over the weekend. 7th in offense overall. McCann just went to the IL. Starling Marte might be going to the IL with a groin issue. So, again, another one of these injuries popping up. The starting pitching has been good this year. 8th in starting pitching on the year. Scherzer had his first start back from the IL this past week against the Reds. He looked phenomenal. 6 innings, 11 strikeouts. Gotta love what Max Scherzer is already doing coming back from the IL. Taijuan Walker, he was really good today against Alcantara. Lost in extra innings today. Jacob deGrom, doing really good on his rehab assignment. 3 scoreless innings in single A the other night. He's going to be pitching for triple A next. He's saying he's feeling pretty good. Jacob deGrom. Hopefully he can stay healthy for the rest of the second half. Bullpen, 13th on the year, but the bullpen has been really good in the last week. 3rd overall in Fangraph WAR over the last 7 days. They got 4 All-Stars: Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, Starling Marte, and Edwin Diaz. So I think Brandon Nimmo should be in this list. That's just me. But overall, the Mets, they're moving down a spot here because these other teams are just playing that much better right now, and moving ahead of them for the first time this year are the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are looking phenomenal right now, ladies and gentlemen. The Atlanta Braves right now, there's not really a whole lot to say. Ben Benefield, $1.99 Super Chat. Padres going to decline after the All-Star game, and Giants going to take their spot. I mean, we saw the Padres decline last year. The difference with the Padres this year, though, is they have starting pitching. So I wonder, I think the Padres are going to be able to hang on to it if you were to ask my personal opinion. You never know. The Giants can get hot and maybe sneak in. Who knows? But I like the Padres better than last year. I'll say that. But they need a bat. So, number 4, I have the Atlanta Braves. I'm going to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot to say here. They're just winning a lot of games. Ground ball to third. Oh, what do you know? Jeter Downs gets it. On to second, on to first. Double play, and the Red Sox win it. They find a way to split the series with the Yankees after dropping the first 2. And the Red Sox split it. I called it on the last Believe in Red Sox podcast. I told Jonathan Papelbon, who was on the show. We got 300 people here in the chat. If you didn't see it, all 300 of you in the chat, if you didn't see it, I was talking with Jonathan Papelbon the other day on the Red Sox podcast, and I told him, hey, I think they're going to split. I think they'll split. And they pulled off the split. What can I say? What can I say? I got lucky. But good game for the Red Sox tonight. They needed that win. Good comeback. They need that. But the Braves, like I said, not a whole lot to say. They're just winning a lot of games right now. They're just phenomenal. They won 3 out of 4 against the Cardinals. They swept the Nationals. They ranked 6th in offense. Austin Riley is amazing in his last 15 games. He's hitting .424 with a .470 on base, a .797 slugging, 5 homers, 15 RBIs. The starting pitching has been phenomenal. They ranked 6th in starting pitching, 1st in relief pitching on the year. Dude, this Braves team is really good right now. And honestly, I think the Braves are, at this moment, the better team than the Mets. Standings-wise, no. If we go take a look at the NL East, the Braves are a game and a half back. But right now, I think the Braves are the better team. I just think they're the better team right now. If you put the Mets and the Braves in a series, best out of 5, best out of 7, I think the Braves would win that series right now. So I think they're both good teams, but I think the way Atlanta is playing at this point in time, I'd give the edge to Atlanta, and that's why I'm putting them ahead. So I just really like the way the Braves are playing right now. They just look like a solid team. Sound FX 09, I knew you were going to be coming in, my friend. I knew it. I'm thinking, where is Sound FX? I gotta wait for Sound FX. Here comes the super chat. Braves ahead of the Mets at number 4. Awesome. Pitching has been amazing. Offense is rolling, and the defense has been spectacular. Mets at home for 3. Big series coming up. Then the Nationals on the road for 4 before the All-Star break. Big series with the Mets and the Braves this week, man. Big series. Oh, man, I'm excited for it. Get your popcorn, get your Dr. Pepper, get your chocolate-covered almonds. You're going to need all the snacks for that one. That's going to be fun. Sound FX, thank you, my friend. One of our members. Thank you, thank you. Coming in at number 3, a team that is playing really good, and it kind of pained me to do this. It did. I'm already seeing people going to get mad at this, but whatever. Eat my shorts. I don't care. Astros coming in at number 3. The only reason they fall to number 3 from number 2 last week is because the Dodgers have just been really good lately, man. The Astros have been good too. They've been good too, but the Dodgers have just been a little bit better, if you ask me. They won 3 out of 4 against the Royals, 2 out of 3 against the A's. They rank 3rd in offense, 5th in starting pitching, 6th in relief pitching. Oh, man. Andrew W. No. I respect the Astros. I feel like I'm the only one that's giving the Astros all the credit lately. I feel like I'm giving them all the credit lately. But the Astros, they're not playing bad by any means. They're not playing bad. They're just getting leapfrogged by a team that I think is just doing a little bit better. Yordan Alvarez, though, going to the IL. They're saying, man, it's not looking like it's getting any better. So hopefully Yordan Alvarez isn't going to be gone for too long. He should be back after the All-Star break. So hopefully that's not going to be a lingering thing, because that guy's been just hitting bombs. But the Astros, still a very good-looking team. The Dodgers, to me, are just playing a little bit better right now. Really like what the Dodgers are doing. They just swept the Rockies. They won the first 3 against the Cubs this past week. I feel like they're quietly playing really well. You're not hearing a lot about the Dodgers right now. They rank 2nd in offense. Mookie Betts, Trey Turner going to the All-Star game. Personally, I think it should be Dansby Swanson starting in the All-Star game. Starting pitching has been fantastic for the Dodgers this year. 3rd in starting pitching overall. 10 strikeouts from Clayton Kershaw against the Cubs. He was named to the All-Star game along with Tony Gonsolin. The bullpen ranks 5th overall. 4 saves over the last 7 days. Dodgers are just playing great baseball, man. And just to kind of give you some comparisons, right now the Dodgers offense ranks better than the Astros. Their starting pitching ranks better than the Astros. And their relief pitching ranks better than the Astros. Jack Huffman says, this dude is a fool. Well, if I'm looking at the stats, the Dodgers are better in offense, starting pitching, and relief pitching. Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just looking at the numbers. So, Joe Girardi, hater with a $4.99 super chat. I can see the Phils making a big move at the deadline with them already over the CBT. I don't see why they would have as many limits as they did in 2021. I think the Phillies, man, they're going to go for it. I mean, they're playing really good lately. I think they could make a couple of moves. I don't think they're going to make anything huge, But I definitely think because when you're thinking about what prospects they don't have a lot of big prospects. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to get a huge deal done unless they want to part with someone like a Mick Abel, someone like that, or Andrew Painter. I don't know if they're going to want to part with those guys. I think they're going to want to hang on to guys in their top 5. But I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. I saw a comment here. GSTLB, if you're looking at numbers, why didn't you say Yordan over Ohtani for starting All-Star? You want to know the big advantage that Ohtani has over Yordan Alvarez? Is Ohtani is simply put the most marketable player that you have in Major League Baseball. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, of course, numbers are very important, but I'm also kind of realistic too. Shohei Ohtani in the All-Star game, I think you got to have him starting. He's having a good year. Yordan Alvarez absolutely deserves to be there. But based off of the numbers, I would have Yordan Alvarez start, me personally. But Shohei Ohtani, I mean, come on. You got to have that guy starting. That to me is basically just a requirement. You got to have that guy in there, man. You got to be marketing your player. You got to be marketing your face of the game. Shohei Ohtani, if that guy's not starting, I mean, unless he was just having a horrible year, but that guy's the most marketable most marketable face in the game. I have no problem with Ohtani starting. I don't think they're that far apart when you look at the numbers here. Let me pull up Ohtani. Here, let me just go here. Leaders, batting. Let's go to the DH. Now, Alvarez, if it were me, I mean, I'm having Alvarez starting. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. I'm having Alvarez starting. But Ohtani, it's Shohei Ohtani. Like I love the numbers more than anyone, but I understand why Ohtani is starting. I understand that. I get it. But Yordan Alvarez should be starting. He should be. Absolutely should be. I mean, the guy's been just ridiculous. He's ridiculous. But, again, I understand why Ohtani is starting. So, getting back to the power rankings, we got one spot left. We got the Yankees, who just lost, but they split with the Red Sox this week. They split with the Pirates. Very interesting. But they did blow the Pirates out in one of those games. They ranked first in offense on the year. Donaldson had a huge night against my Red Sox the other night. Hit a grand slam. They scored 16 runs against the Pirates, 12 runs against my Red Sox in the second game of the series. Starting pitching has been a little flat lately. Jimmy Productions with a super chat. Hot take, the Red Sox trade JD Martinez to the Marlins and then trade for Josh Bell and Nelson Cruz. And then they trade a haul for Brian Reynolds. Now, I wonder if Chaim Bloom could get creative in that kind of a way where maybe he sends JD Martinez somewhere. I don't know. To me, the thing with JD Martinez is he has negative value right now. So I don't know really what you're going to be able to. You'd have to get creative in a deal. I don't know. I could see them going after Josh Bell. So I won't dismiss the idea of maybe Bloom, if a team wants JD Martinez, to maybe look for a deal. I think in the end, though, they'll probably hang on to him. Unless there's a deal out there that just makes sense, right? I could see them going after Josh Bell. I don't see them going after Brian Reynolds. And I'm going to tell you all this right now. I don't think the Pirates are going to trade Brian Reynolds at all. You know why? Because the Pirates, they're going to be really good in the next couple of years. Why would you trade Brian Reynolds? That's your guy. You got to hang on to Brian Reynolds. You got to trust the process, and I think you hang on to Brian Reynolds. That's going to be a good team in the next couple of years. I think that's a guy you should look to lock up to an extension. Absolutely. So I could see the Red Sox going after Bell. I would say probably least likely. It's less likely that they're going to go after or trade JD Martinez. I could see Bloom being creative, though. doing something a little out of the box, and if that involves somehow trading JD Martinez, I can't think of a trade off the top of my head. I'd have to look into that, but I can see them going after Josh Bell. I could. Absolutely could. So, we got another super chat here. N. Chapman, do you think the Yankees are going to choke and only win about 90 games? I don't think so. I think this Yankees starting pitching is just too good. I think they have the firepower to be able to go make a trade. I think if they wanted to go out and get Luis Castillo, they could. I think that would make their rotation just nasty. They've been in talks supposedly for Andrew Benintendi. I could see that. And I do think they're going to end up trading Joey Gallo somewhere, and I think they're going to bring in Andrew Benintendi. Could you do a three-way trade? Maybe Joey Gallo goes somewhere, Benintendi. Could you imagine Benintendi gets traded back to the American League East after getting traded from the American League East in a three-way trade with the Mets and the Royals? And could you imagine he comes back to the Yankees in a three-way trade? But I do think if I were to put money down, I think they end up trading away Joey Gallo somewhere. Just eat their losses, whatever. Just get rid of them, and then you bring in, Benintendi. But I don't think the Yankees are going to fall apart in the second half. I don't. I think the starting pitching is too good. I think the bullpen is too good. Michael King, Clay Holmes, they've been amazing. I just don't see them falling apart. It would be hilarious. I would die laughing if it did. You know why? Because I have felt that pain before. Back in 2011 with my Red Sox. They looked phenomenal. And then they fell apart in September. They won, 7 out of 27 in September? My goodness. Awful. So if that happened to the Yankees, I would laugh hysterically because I know that pain. Jimmy Productions with another $4.99. Do you think the Orioles could make it to the playoffs? I mean, the way they're playing, their starting pitching has been really good. Their bullpen has been good all year. So that bullpen is not just getting lucky lately. That's been a good bullpen all year. I think the offense needs a little something. So I honestly don't see the Orioles trading away someone like a Mancini or a Hayes or a Mullins. I think they're going to hang on to. I don't think they're going to trade away Mancini, man. I just don't see it. There's a lot of sentimental value there with him, with overcoming cancer. I just think that would be a bad move. Honestly, I think you should just sign him up to an extension. Get him signed up to like a 3-year extension and see if you can, maybe get back to the playoffs over the next few years. I think they should hang on to him. So, but the Yankees, they're playing great lately. Oh, we got another super chat here from Yay with $1 super chat. Yay. Thank you for the support. $1 super chat. Do appreciate that. Michael Shin, Austin Hayes is a stud. Absolutely. But, everyone, those are my power rankings. I'm done. We got the Yankees coming in at number 1. The Dodgers at number 2. We got the Astros at number 3. Braves at number 4, their highest spot all year. The Mets at number 5. Phillies coming in at number 6. They're knocking on the door, rounding out the top 10. I got the Padres, Brewers, Red Sox, and Twins. The Mariners and the Orioles are the biggest gainers this week. The Blue Jays are falling. My goodness, what is going on with the Blue Jays? The Marlins definitely gained. Man, oh man. So, we're going to have to wait and see what ends up happening for next week. But everyone, before I get out of here, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. We got a super chat coming in. From Jimmy Productions, once again coming through with a big super chat, $4.99. Can you do a video with multiple years on their contract? Do a video of people with multiple years on their contract that could be traded. I think I could do something like that, absolutely. I might not do a video completely dedicated to that, but I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of trade scenario videos over the next month, so be on the lookout for that. Jimmy Productions. But I'll definitely look into guys that are under more control that could be traded. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of guys pop up on my lists. But everyone, hit that like button on the way out for me. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm actually probably going to be recording the Red Sox podcast here. I don't know if I'm going to go live for it. I might pre-record it. I don't know. Maybe look out for a live stream. I might do it live. I prefer to do them live. So maybe I'll go live. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. But everyone, thank you for coming out tonight. I do appreciate it. And everyone that has subscribed over the last week, welcome to the channel. Do really appreciate you joining the crew. Everyone, have yourself a great night. Have a good week coming up. And I'll talk to you next time.